They have sacked Chris Wilder. This is after 11 months in charge, with the club sitting 22nd in the Championship at the moment. So just to recap, Middlesbrough have sacked Chris Wilder. Breaking news on talkSPORT this morning. What are our initial reactions to that? Wow.
It's a big one. It's a big look. They've been struggling in the Championship, and for me, Chris Wilder is a top manager. He really is. So something's not right there. Whether he's had the backing or not to get players in that he needs. But yeah, feel for him because he's a good guy.
Was it Coventry beat them at the weekend 1-0?
Yeah.
Listen, Jamie, they're sitting 22nd in the league. Is it a surprise? No.
West Brom are down there as well, by the way. Steve Bruce.
You took the words out of my mouth. They're sitting in the same points in 21. So nothing surprises anymore, does it? Let's be honest.
Let's get some instant reaction now. talkSPORT's correspondent Alex Crook is on the line. Good morning, Crookie.
Morning, Crookie.
Good morning.
Good morning. Crookie, give us an idea of how the Borough fans might be feeling this morning after that news.
I think the majority of them will be pleased, to be honest. The vibes coming out of the last few weeks haven't been particularly positive with regards to their relationship with Chris Wilder. And I think sometimes you can read a lot into the nature of a departure by the statement. This is a very brutal statement released by Middlesbrough this morning. It's only 2 paragraphs long. They do place on record their thanks to Chris and his staff for all their hard work over the past 11 months. But I think because it's so short and maybe not very sweet, that tells you all you need to know about Chris Wilder's relationship, I think, with the Borough hierarchy. I've been hearing whispers for some time now that him and Steve Gibson, the owner, Borough haven't seen eye to eye. I think there were some issues over the distribution of transfer funds, particularly when Jed Spence was sold to Tottenham. I think Chris Wilder was hoping to get that deal done earlier in the summer, and I think he was definitely hoping that he would be given more of those transfer profits to spend. That didn't happen. It was a similar story, I think, when Marcus Tavernier was sold to Bournemouth. And once that breakdown in relationship starts between owner and manager, ultimately there will only be one winner. And as Ali was saying there, their league position doesn't look great for a team I think were fancied to challenge for promotion this season. And maybe you could argue they should have got in the playoffs at the end of last season as well. That when he came in, they had an immediate upturn. They were in a really good run of form. I remember covering a game at Bournemouth, I think around about Easter Monday. They drew 0-0. At that stage, they were in a good position to make the playoffs. It didn't happen. And it's been a downward spiral since then. It's a shame for Chris Wilder because I'm told that this was a job that he really wanted to succeed in, and it just hasn't happened.
That statement that you were talking about, literally 2 paragraphs, I'm just going to read it really quickly. Leo Perkovic will take over first team affairs in the interim basis, assisted by Craig Liddell, Mark Tinkler and Lee Cattermole. The club would like to place on record its thanks to Chris and his staff for all their hard work over the past 11 months. And that is literally it. So I see what you're saying.
What do you want them to say?
Well, a bit of a longer statement, perhaps.
I'm not compare it to the statement that Wolves released when they sacked Bruno Lage. There were some really nice comments there from the owner saying what a good guy and what a good coach Bruno Lage is.
Yeah, but they're in the Premier League,
Alex,
you know, and he had a great season last season.
This is the thing. I'm not telling him what to write. What we're saying is that's a reflection of what the situation is behind the scenes at the moment. I don't care what they write, Jamie. What we're saying is what's going on. It obviously wasn't a very happy situation when they left.
I don't think he's got the backing.
Alex,
I think.
Well, here's the question really that I suppose a lot of Borough fans want the answering to is they've had manager after manager, and does that sort of indicate something else going on behind the scenes that needs to be fixed as well?
Yeah, probably. I think, listen, Steve Gibson is a hero in the eyes of the Middlesbrough fans because of the commitment that he's shown to the football club. And actually what you know about Gibson usually is that he is loyal to his managers. So this dismissal of Chris Wilder has come pretty early in his tenure. But I think they do need to decide what direction they're going in now because they've tried all different types of style of manager and it hasn't worked out. It isn't a great Championship in terms of quality this season. Whoever comes in will be expected, I think, to quickly propel Borough up the table. And we've got so many games left to play that you wouldn't completely rule them out of the promotion picture, certainly not in terms of the playoffs anyway. But as I say, I think they've got to make a definitive decision. One of the names that's being talked about already is that of Rob Edwards, who of course himself had a pretty brutal experience having left Forest Green, a very stable club, to go to Watford, and as happens at Watford, didn't last there very long. That would be seen as, I think, as a progressive appointment, a young up-and-coming coach. There's a lot of Championship teams seem to be going in that direction now, but I think Steve Gibson really needs to decide exactly what he wants now from this football club.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.